Um, anyway, my name is, like he said, is Professor Jekwu Edmund Ogbuchiekwe. I'm just a retired professor. Now I went back to farming, so I prefer people calling me a farmer. Okay, so my interest is just like what he has said. How do we revive African agriculture? But most most of the things some of our people don't know, just like the first presenter did, lack of information is very expensive. But now we are lucky we have online all this type of information. Now, a lot of people are beginning to see there are good things in terms of agriculture now making it from Africa to Europe, okay? But how do we do it with limited resources is my interest. That's why I title my topic Integrated Farm Management from farm to dinner table. That means this thing incorporated so many stages in agriculture. For example, from production to processing. If you guys look at the early colonial imprint we have, you can understand that all they thought out is production of raw material. Then we export it and we don't make much money on it. But now I'm saying with integrated farming, you can start from production and go to finished product. And that's where the money is, okay? But I'm not gonna go ahead and keep on talking. I would like to share my screen so that we can go through this screen step by step, okay? Using the basic resources people can find in their own place. Okay, if you guys are looking at my screen here, this is just definition of integrated farming, but I'm gonna summarize it. The major thing here is how do we do something? The keyword is sustainable, okay? Without harming your environment, soil, water, resources, given that in early time, we've learned through Green Revolution, we learn how to use pesticides, learn how to use herbicides, but in a final analysis, we're beginning to find out that it has ecological damages. Even the human toll on this is very high. So now we're reverting back to organic agriculture, which is not new to most of Africans. I must tell you this, okay? I always say this, everything I learned in colleges in the United States in agriculture didn't start here. No, I was a farm boy growing up in a village, okay? All I really did here is learn the theory. Now I know how theory works. And then I take my data from home and feed it into the theory and see what it gives me. And that's why I specialize in integrated farm management. So most of my presentation will be based on similar resource you have in your own local Africa, okay? I am from Igbo tribe. So I start from my home before I come out. So sometimes you're gonna see some of the crop I'm using because of is from Igbo tribe, but this applies to most of the people in Africa because we're highly integrated. So these are the title of this thing, going from farm to the dinner table, as I got it, okay? In organic way, where you can throw nothing away. You can use, the basic summary is that you can use your agricultural product, crop, and convert it into feed for your animal. And from there, your animal will give you manure, organic manure. You use it to feed your plant. You see, this type of system, nothing is wasted. And we can do is some of this application technology, people always refer it as a low-tech, has already incorporated. So when I finish my speech, if you wanna contact me, I can link you some of the basic technology that are already in existence. People are trying and they're seeing the benefit of it. So the next thing I will show here, what's going on? It looks like my stuff is freezing on me. Yes, the next thing here is model. This is what everybody that went to college, you always know that model is how we start, okay? But what is important about model is that what do you feed into that? Does it meet your requirement, okay? So you guys are gonna see how I'm gonna make transition back from general model to a simple model that fit my own crop production, okay? So this is what integrated farming is saying. Basically, they look at the environment, okay? They look at economics, money. A basic farmer, can he get enough money to feed for your family, something like that, micro level. You look at social, society, within all these things, are they well off, okay? And also, we integrate all these things together, make sure it's sustainable. And I will simplify this word sustainable, no matter what you do. Sustainable is asking three questions, basic three questions. One, is your air clean? Is your water clean? Is your land clean based on all this production you're doing? If you can answer yes to all these three questions, then whatever you're doing is very unsustainable. So this is the key word you need to focus in mind. I always focus in mind when I do anything I do. So with that, this has several components that cover all these things where we can continue doing things and recycle things. That may be a good word. Recycle things over and over again to achieve our basic goal. So with that, I can send you guys this thing later on if you want to read them, but I'm gonna go ahead and summarize it because of time limitation, okay? For example, if you look at economic, the basic question is the farmer who is producing this, the local farmer who is producing the food, does he have enough income to feed his family? The answer could only be yes if he get a maximum price for his product. But in most cases in Africa, you find that we don't give them that opportunity because all they do is to give us the raw material. They don't go all the way to finishing product. The person that makes real money is the middle person that are processing all this. So with that, resource management is considered. Organic cropping is very important. I'm gonna give you some example how you use crop to grow crop. Also, without applying synthetic fertilizer. Livestock is incorporated into it. And also, veterinary medicine or veterinary services is very important so that if your animal gets sick or if your crop gets sick, we have people who can take care of it. Nowadays, we're talking about transmission of disease, coronavirus, from human to animal. Those type of things is very important. We have the veterinary services that can look into this. So with that, this is a clear picture of the model, what it's saying. If you look at it, you find that it incorporated everything. But there is basic question everybody can ask you in farming. How much do I make? Do you know that farming doesn't give you money? That's not true. It depends on how you minimize your cost application. Yes, farming is a very competitive institution, okay? But if you minimize your costs, start from your basic resources you have, then you can make it. So if you look at here, you find that they have given you, at the bottom here, you can find that they have given you a general cost and return of this project, okay? And you could see that net return is successful in this. But my interest lie on using your local resource. That's why I titled this one, a different model that will meet my ethnic group. Most of you that come from Africa come from different ethnicity. So now your ethnicity is where you know well. You know the type of soil you have, you know the type of crop you know the type of stable food you have. How do I use it to come out with a better environmental issue? Yes, we can create that model. If you look at this model, you notice that my interest is farm family in the middle, okay? Farm family can get his basic staple food from here. He can sell it to the market. He can raise the livestock and also get the biofuel or biogas from animal dung. So all this is not possible without some of you that come from Nigeria, you guys know that we have problem with NEPA, okay? You can pay any amount of money, they never supply electricity. In this case, you can generate your own gas, okay, from your animal dung. So with this type of model, I begin to show a typical practical example of what I mean by integrated farming. This is a case where somebody is setting up a poultry on top of a pond, okay? Where now you can feed your poultry, chicken, with your feed. Then chicken poop will transform into fish feed, okay? If you see where they set up this, where you will notice that like people raising the catfish is more like what we call, and shrimp, we call them bottom cleaners, okay? They love this type of organic. But when you are looking at your fish eating the chicken poop, people will say, this is yucky, this is ugly. No, 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 no. Remember that chicken is fed in organic compound. So the poop will be also organic manure. So when you're using it as a feed, you're also capturing two things. You can use it to fertilize your field, okay? So in that case, we look at different companies. This is where I will ask you to pay attention, okay? There is so many technology we have combined together. I did in my research that are possible today, okay? And the reason why I'm doing it is that I'm targeting small scale farmers, the village farmers, okay? That's the people I'm targeting. So if you look at this thing, you will see the reason why I listed all these things is that everybody in my tribe has a piece of land. You don't have to have large acres of land to do this. So within that, your small piece of land as a fixed capital, you can do integrated chicken coop, organic manure, and grow crops and everything, and recycle things over that. You can also go to mixed crop, okay? We call cowpeas, the beans, okay? Cowpeas is a legume plant who can feed nitrogen to the soil. So you don't have to apply synthetic compound fertilizer for your follow-up crops, okay? We now have integrated, people are doing it all over Africa now, integrated cassava fields where they get organic animal feed from animal cassava fields that we used to throw away, and people are getting energy from it. So we have integrated, this has been in existence for long. We have integrated grain, maize, oats, where you use all those things to feed your animal. In return, your animal gives you organic manure. We also have a new, I saw this a lot of, I work with people in the Thailand and all that, they are doing this thing because their staple food is rice, where you use rice paddy. In Louisiana here, when I went to school in Louisiana State, I saw them doing it with shrimp industry also. So rice paddy, organic feed to fish, crawfish, and shrimp. So there's so many, these farm techs we can get into. So there is engineering part of it. How do I build this equipment to help me? This is a common chicken coop, okay? You can do with wire gauze. So when the chicken is living there, feeding, they are at the same time fertilizing your land for the next crop. So we have all this. But another thing I like to introduce here, because I'm running out of time, I would like to introduce here is a a new technology, I'll call it, that will help small scale farming, okay? From where I come from, we used to grow crop in mound, we make mound. But those things doesn't really give you advantage to introduce a new technology, okay? Like drip irrigation and so on. So if we do what we call row cropping, that will allow you to maximize the use of your land efficiently. If you look at there, you see that there is a line for different crops in a small piece of land, and they will do very well because most of these crops, what they are really looking for is sunlight, okay? So if you do the row cropping, that will give every individual plant advantage to receive maximum sunlight. So sometimes we ask the question, how do we do that? Yes, we have some machine tractors that can do this, but if you don't have money to buy that tractor, you can do it manually. So if you look at both sides of my slides, you will see somebody who has a commercial person who has advantage money to buy a tractor to do the raised bed or ridge, what we call. But if you don't have that, look at the guy on the other side is using a local tool to accomplish the same thing. So with this idea, this is the type of raised bed or ridge I'm recommending for this integrated farming. One good thing about this is that it will help you to grow so many crops within a piece of land, okay? And while this thing is going on, the plant itself, if you look at here, this is beans, this is corn. These beans will be feeding fertilizer to the crop, to your corn. So you don't have to use excessive synthetic fertilizer. And at the end, if you incorporate these beans into the land for the next crop, you will get additional nitrogen into your crop, what the basic nutrients the plant needs. So with this idea, what are the important or essentials of mixed cropping? It provides you efficient and profitable small scale acreage people who can make money out of this if you use row cropping. Easy access to incorporate drip irrigation, okay? And then sometimes some of the problem our people are having, they believe that now one-time fertilizing of the crop is good enough. That's not true. Just like human being, you eat lunch, you eat breakfast, you eat dinner. Sometimes you have to do side dressing, what we call side dressing. That means putting manure again in the middle of the cropping season. When you do that, row cropping gives you advantage to do that. And easy for later cultivation practices you want to do, and they minimize excessive soil tillage, because soil tillage causes erosion in your soil. And then it maintains your fertility of your soil. So with that, question arises, how do I benefit from this thing? This is a little spreadsheet I calculated based on the research of integrated farming I did using different crops. You can see, if you look at the last row, you can see that every one of them shows some kind of profitable return. So this is what I have for you. But if you want some of my citation, okay, I have published a lot, okay, based on my research, okay. I can even forward you some of this research if you're interested, or you can go online and you can always Google my last name. You'll find a lot of work I have done. So my encouragement is to thank this organization, okay? Something I'm asking that make sure you help me to sell these products to villagers, okay? They are my interest, because nobody really know where this coronavirus issue will put us. But the worst thing that will happen is when people cannot feed themselves, and it will be a disaster. And that's my story today. Thank you very much.